Welcome back to my channel. My name is Olive and this video is going to be a yoga / mobility flow for climbers. So all you are going to need is your body, perhaps your yoga mat if you have one, and it's a follow along, or you can take elements and incorporate it into your own training. But I hope you enjoy and your body feels nice and warmed up, ready to send some climbs. Take yourself into a seated position or come to standing, whatever you want to work with. We're just going to come into some finger flicks first, just to get some movement into them. So arms out by your side, you're literally just going to flick your fingers as quickly as you can, just to get a little bit of a pump up into your forearms, waking them up. Then you can start to reach them up and over your head, still flicking out through the fingers. And then bring them back down by your side. And then release. Okay, just to kind of mobilize into our wrists a little bit more, you're going to take your hands out in front of you and take them a little bit wider than shoulder distance. And we're going to take the fingers down to the ground. So into flexion and then all the way up into extension. Just going to roll with that a couple times. Just moving up and down. Beautiful. And then we're going to do this in a second with fists instead of open hands, just to again target a little bit more and get a little bit more feedback from the muscles in our forearm. So close down into fists and again up and down. We might hear some lovely clicks. It's just air, it's nothing to be super concerned about. Okay, and then release, shake it off. You're going to take it down into the ground with the hands. So we're going to work into some palm lifts and some finger lifts. So again, sort of tapping into our hands a little bit more. So when you come down to the ground, you're going to spread the weight as much as possible into the hands, so making the fingers as wide as you can. And the palm lifts, you're going to lift the heel of the hand up, keep the fingers connected to the floor, and then bring it back down. So you're just raising the hands or the palms up and down. And again, you kind of find yourself moving through a tempo that feels comfortable for you. Go for as many of these as you would like. But for argument's sake, I'm going to do 2 more. And then release. Come to rest into a seated position, interlace the hands and just roll through your wrists. And then from there, we're going to take it into some finger lifts. Okay. So back down to the ground, spreading the fingers nice and wide. This time we sort of gather the weight back into the heel of the hand and see if we can lift the fingers up and down off the floor. Again, find yourself moving at your own tempo, whatever feels good. Going over 2 more. And then release, take it back into your legs, roll through the wrists, find yourself moving through some lovely circular movements. Okay. From here, we're going to bring it back down onto our hands. And we're going to come into some scapular movements. So your scapula are your shoulder blades, and we want them to be able to sort of seamlessly glide and move across our upper back, across our ribcage. I'm going to take my hands into a fist just because I'm working through an injury, but feel free to have flat palms. Essentially what you're going to do from here is lightly brace in through the core, and you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then push through the hands and try widen the distance between them. So they squeeze together as the chest lowers to the floor, and then you push away. And you're just going to roll with this a couple of times. If you are feeling comfortable, another alternative that you can find yourself moving into is doing this with either the knees floating off the floor in an elevated quadruped position, or in a plank. Doesn't matter, whatever your goals are, work with that, see where your body wants to go. I'll go 1 more time. And then releasing, taking it back down. Maybe just have a little roll through your wrists. Okay, so from here we're going to come down into a seated position and just work into the lower body a little bit. So just taking the weight out of our hands. So you're going to find yourself into a straddle position. And before we move into anything, take your hands onto your hips and just start to find some circles. Going whatever direction, however deep, however shallow you'd like. You can move and let the ankles roll with you as well. Find them moving through some circles. Change direction. Okay. And then from here, we're going to come into like a little mini flow for the lower body. So from your straddle stance, take your hands behind you. You're going to bend both legs. So you're going to start to slide the heels inwards to the body. And then we're going to drop both knees down towards the right-hand side. Come back to the middle, slide the legs away, slide them back in, drop them to the left. And then again, through the middle, away, in, down to the right. Middle, away, in, and over to the left. So hopefully what we're starting to do more over here, as we drag the heels in, it's kind of replicating or starting to engage through the hamstrings a little bit more. So we're kind of coming into movements that will sort of replicate a heel hook. And what we're doing for the hips is taking them through some internal and external rotation. So if you climb and you do a lot of bicycles, we're kind of replicating that as well. What you would do on the floor, we're kind of taking it to the wall eventually. Okay, this time as you drop your legs down to the right, we're going to hold here. You're going to take your hands either side of the right thigh, and you're just going to incrementally fold in and then back it out. And just pulsing in and out of the front leg, moving as low as you would like to. I didn't really think about my setup with my plants today. Anyways, we maneuver around them. Okay, beautiful. And then from here, you're going to push up, take it all the way over to the other side, same thing. You're going to pulse in and out of the left leg this time. Again, see how it feels, how this leg responds. Do you want to take it deeper, shallower? What's going on this side? And then one more time. Okay, I'm going to bring it back to the middle. And then from here, take it down again to the right-hand side. This time what we are going to do, this one's a little bit more brutal. We're going to start to tap into the back leg, into the glutes and into the hip flexors. So maybe ground both hands either side of the right leg. You're going to start to lift your left leg off the floor, bring it forward, straighten the leg out, tap the ground with the heel, and then lift and send it behind you. So again, we lift, take it all the way forwards to tap the ground, lift, reset behind. You can do it with as much support from the hands or as little support from the hands as you would like. But we're really working into the hip flexors, into our glutes, max and mid, into the hips. So really thinking about the positions of like the high step. When you bring that knee up, you hear that lovely click in my spine? Let's go one more time. And then back. Okay, swap it over to the other side. Again, maybe ground both hands either side of the left leg, gonna lift, step it forwards, and then take it behind you. You might find one side moves easier than the other. It's completely fine, completely normal. We always have one dominant leg, one more mobile side than the other. Change it up, see if you want to go without your arms. Whatever feels good. And again, maybe see if we can find a range into that hip. Let's go one more time. And back. And switch it back to the middle and release. Okay, let's take it up to standing. And then from here, we're going to come into, again, just a little bit more hip mobility. I want to take the focus into this rotation when we bring the leg forwards, replicating again when we have to bring the knee high up. So you can take yourself to a wall, you can hold the wall for support. I'm going to just take my hand onto my hip. You're going to balance into the left leg, lift the right leg off the ground. And we're going to take the leg behind, draw a big circle out to the side, and then forwards. So again, behind, really try to reach up as high as we can, and then down. Just seeing how much range we can start to bring in. Doesn't matter if we bend that bottom leg. And then maybe try change direction, lift it up and back. One more time. And then down. Okay, let's take it to the other side. Balance onto the right leg, lift left knee up, and again circle behind. Really trying to find the focus into the hips, experimenting with where we can go. And then draw it forwards. Find your balance. Lovely. We go one more time. And then release and shake it out. Okay, beautiful. From here, let's take it into some Cossack squats. I know we're doing a lot of lower body stuff, but the lower body is just as important as the upper body. So you're going to take the feet about wider than your hips. Think about a leg distance in between. We're going to start to rock side to side. So maybe take your hands onto your hips. You're going to bend into your right leg. Just go as low as you want to. Doesn't have to be to the floor just yet. Back up and then over to the other side. Again, as we start to get more and more comfortable with this movement, this position, we can take it lower towards the ground. Okay. Lovely. Let's go one more time and then start to bring it closer to the floor. This time as you load to the right leg, drop as low as you can. Maybe the heel lifts, maybe it stays grounded. You can peel the left toes off the ground. Just holding here in our Cossack squat. Maybe rock forwards and backwards into the hands. Carry it over to the other side when you're ready, whether you lift hips up high and then come down, or you do a little sweep to one side. You're going to see what's going on here. Point and flex through your toes, reach arms away, whatever feels good. Okay. And then maybe just switch between sides a couple more times. You could extend through the arms, rotate through the chest. Find any little additional add-ons that feel good. Okay. Lovely. Okay, so from here, bring it back into your wide-legged forward fold, rising all the way up. I'm going to draw the legs together and then take it to a wall. Coming into some movements for the hip flexors. So stand with your feet about hip distance apart. Your heels aren't stuck to the wall, maybe they're like a little bit further away, but your body's resting against it. Then take your hands down to the wall. We're going to lift the right leg straight into the air a couple of times. So when you're ready, lifting the right leg up and then back down. So with the wall here, we can't use momentum, so we're really trying to tap into the hip flexors. Okay, let's go 2 more times. Last one. And then release onto the other leg. We go for 6. Up and down. Doesn't matter if this leg has a little bend in it at all. Doesn't have to be straight. We go 2 more. Final one. And then release. Okay, beautiful. Bring it down to your mat. I'm going to come into some dead bug movements for the core, for a bit of coordination. So lying on your back, you're going to take your legs into a 90-degree shape. So knees elevated above your hips, the legs bent to 90 degrees, arms directly above your shoulders, and lightly bracing into your core. Imagine someone's about to punch you and you kind of tense up. From here, we're going to extend the left arm overhead, same time right leg extends away. The arm and leg don't have to touch the ground, they're simply reaching. Then we draw it back in, and then over to the other side. Right arm, left leg. Gonna roll with this 10 times in total. If you want to do more or less, please feel free. But 10 is just quite a nice number. So I think even gives us enough time to kind of understand the movement as well. Do 4 more in total. Moving nice and slow. Right arm, left leg. Left arm, right leg. And last one. Bring it back in, hug your knees to your chest. Start to rock yourself gently, 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 side to side. From here, rocking up and down 2 or 3 times. Last one. Bring yourself up, take it into a tabletop. And we're going to draw down onto our elbows, onto our forearms. You're going to push down into your forearms, arch your back, draw the chin to the chest. And then lower the belly down to the ground, squeezing shoulder blades together, gazing forwards. So just some gentle spinal movement. Arching the back, and then release it. Keep rolling with this a couple of times, getting used to what the spine is doing, getting used to engaging through the whole forearm as we press down. We're going to finish off with one of my favourite movements to help work into the shoulders and the triceps, called dolphin taps. So, arms stay as they are. You're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees up and off the floor. So legs are as straight or as bent as you want them to be. You can have the heels off the ground. As you gaze forwards towards the hand, you're going to imagine your chin touching the ground in between the hands. So you're going to rock forwards, tap the ground, push back. Again, rock forwards, tap the ground, push back. It's quite a challenging one, so if you tap the ground, drop the knees, and then push, go for that. Roll for as many of these as you would like. I'm going to go for 2 more. Final one. And then release. Knees down. Bring it all the way up. Final little thing for the shoulders. Take it through some internal and external rotation. So, arms extend out to the side. You're going to take the left palm down to the ground. But I want you to imagine in both hands you're like turning a doorknob. So with the hands you're like creating this little Lego man hand. You're going to turn the left doorknob down, and in turn, that left shoulder is going to drop. Right hand is going to turn the doorknob up. The shoulder reaches up, and then you switch. 1 down, 1 up. 1 down, 1 up. And you're creating tension through the fingers, through the forearm, through the shoulders. Just allowing the shoulder joints to go through its full range. Okay. 1 more each way. And then release, and you go. Well, I'm nice and warm, so I hope you are too, and I hope you are ready to go climb. Enjoy, send some good roots for me, and I will see you next time.